Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to Insider Live, your backstage pass to eXp. My name is Frank Panunto. I'm the Vice President of Growth for the U.S. East, and I will be your host tonight. And we'll spend the next 30 minutes or so just going through everything that's eXp. Why is everybody joining this company? What's it all about? I don't understand it. Is everybody just a bunch of cartoon characters, or what is going on over there? So we're going to answer all the questions today, go through our entire platform, just kind of give you the 30,000-foot view and try to be as thorough as possible for you. So again, my name is Frank Panunto. So excited to be with you tonight. My partner Amy is at our eXp Con in Canada, which kicked off today. So we're super excited about that. We have a lot of live events. I think you're going to see today as we go through this presentation that we're going to kind of clear up a lot of the misconceptions out there. One of them being that everything's virtual and there's no human interaction with each other, and it really couldn't be farther from the truth. Amy is at our eXp Con Canada. We also have an eXp Con in the U.S., which is going to be in Miami this year, coming up in October. And we always have an international one too, somewhere in Europe. So we have 3 different eXp Cons that you have an opportunity to go to. So cool, so much fun. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what it is at eXp. Why are people coming here? And man, what is all the fuss about? So we're super proud about who we are. We started in 2009, and look what happened. In just a short period of time, we've already grown to over 80,000 agents. We are currently in 27 countries. We have a goal of reaching 40 countries over the next 3 years. So we are hitting the gas pedal and accelerating and just expanding. We are the largest independent real estate brokerage on the planet. What does that mean? That means we're not a franchise, everybody. So that's one of the misconceptions out there, that you're just like this company or you're just like that company. The truth of the matter is we're not. So we are the #1 independent real estate company on the planet. We're excited about that. And you can see our trajectory and what our goals are and where we think we're going to expand to. And we know at the rate that we're going right now that these numbers are totally attainable, and we will be hitting the 100,000 agent mark in the near future. I feel confident about that. One of the other things I wanted to kind of clear up for people is there's this whole thing out there that eXp is nothing but a big recruiting company. It's a pyramid. It's multi-level marketing. It's all that stuff. I mean, look, bottom line is every real estate company is in this business to sell houses. Production is our #1 focus here at eXp. Let's talk about it. In 2023, we sold over 355,000 homes. Incredible. What happened in 2024? Over 500,000 homes. Crazy. So in a time when people say, the market's kind of slowing down and things are hard out there, we just keep going up. And what do you attribute that to? To me, it's a couple of things. One is clearly we have the best agents in the industry and the most well-prepared agents in the industry, which means, too, that our platform works. So everybody talks about their tools and all the different things that they have, but put your money where your mouth is, right? So that's one of the things that we do. The proof is in the pudding. The numbers don't lie. And our agents here are just out there absolutely killing it. I will tell you right now that we probably have the highest production per agent rate in the industry. I would put us up against anybody. And you're talking about over 80,000 plus agents that have a production rate of over 6 units per agent. When you think about that, that's awesome. It's not some small little company, huge company. So that's something we're really proud about. Here's some of our bragging points that we like to put out there. We're ranked #1 growth leader, obviously #1 in real trends, power broker. So again, all of this just speaks volumes to, who we are and the quality of the work that we're doing at eXp. And not only that, but the quality of the training, the quality of the agent, the quality of being prepared. When you do get that appointment, are you winning? So we're all about winning over here. There's something that's, pretty huge and pretty big part of our focus. And the other thing, before we get into the real heavy details, our top producers. You may see our hashtag out there a lot where it says, where the pros go to grow. And it's true. When you look at the quality of the teams and agents and brokerages that are partnering with us all over the world, it's absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, if you were to take our top 250 teams in our would be the fifth or sixth biggest brokerage in the entire country. Unbelievable. And it's just an absolute honor to be affiliated with these people and these teams, and just again speaks to who we are. So let's get into some of the stuff about what it means to be an eXp. So yes, we are a cloud-based company. What does that mean? Okay, here we go. Again, people are like, oh, that means you don't talk to anybody and everything is cloud-based and I'm not real tech savvy. Well, guess what? Neither am I. But this is the best thing I've ever seen. Why? Number one is you can work from anywhere in this planet. It doesn't matter. You have 24/7 access to our entire platform. We have support staff. We have a 24/7 concierge desk. We're going to get a live person if you have a question. So the fact that you don't have to stop everything just because you're on vacation or you're not in front of your desk or you're in a different time zone doesn't mean that you have to stop working. When you're cloud-based, you have freedom, which is awesome. What else it also means is this. There's kind of an underlying foundation that I'm going to talk about today, and that is agent-centric. Now, I think the word agent-centric is probably the most overused word in our industry. Right? Everybody claims to be that, but can they actually back it up? I'm going to back it up today many times. You're going to see exactly why we are the most agent-centric company that's in the industry. Now, one of them comes back to this. Because we are cloud-based, we don't have a corporate headquarters. We don't have offices all over the country that are corporate-owned. You'll see eXp offices spread out throughout the country. Those are agent-owned. But why is that a big deal? Why does that even relate to what you're talking about, Frank, with this agent-centric thing? Because we don't have the overhead. Because of that, we have a thing that's called revenue share, which I'm going to touch on in just a little bit. You'll understand what that means. But all these unnecessary overhead costs, we can eliminate those. We don't need to have them, which again means we can reinvest more money back into our agents and into the training and into our tools. That's a big deal. So when you talk about technology, I'm going to show you our entire dashboard of the stuff that we have. Training and development is out of this world. If you're in the real estate industry, then you absolutely have to know the name Brian Ellington. He is an absolute genius and one of the most respected people when it comes to training and putting programs together. He is our chief learning officer and phenomenal guy. What he's done with our training and development, crazy. I'm going to touch on that in just a little bit as well. And again, eXp world. So this virtual world that we have, you have access to all of this stuff 24/7. Let's dig into the platform now that I'm talking about it. So what does that mean? We have a monthly fee of $85. That's it. That $85, I want you to think of it as kind of like an $85 coin, and you put it into this vending machine. So for a whopping $85 a month, you get all of the stuff that's on the screen in front of you right now. And a couple of things I want to touch on because it's really important. So let's start with the tech deck. So obviously eXp World, we talk about having access to the platform 24/7. Everybody gets a CISO account. Everybody gets a Canva Pro account. Those two things alone would probably cost you over $1,000 a month just for those two items. That's included in the $85. Obviously, SkySlope, which is it's kind of like a virtual filing cabinet. This is where all our transactions go, but it also has your electronic signatures, all your forms. So right now, if you're using .loop or some of the other electronic signature programs, don't need them anymore. It's included in the $85. My eXp, which is awesome. That's a whole app where you can kind of track where you are, how close you are to capping, what's going on with your revenue share. If you're a team leader, how's your entire team doing? You can track everything in the palm of your hand. Pretty awesome. A couple of things I want to highlight in the lead gen tab. KV Core, that's our primary CRM system that we're using right now. KV Core, when used properly, is a great lead gen tool. Other things I wanted to kind of throw out to you are the Revenos platform. So Revenos, our referral division, over 44,000 referrals went back and forth in the eXp world last year. It was over $1 billion worth of business. Unbelievable when you think about that. The Making It Rain program. So we have this program that's part of our infrastructure here, for leads. So it's a lead generating tool where you're getting X amount of leads per month. So there's all these opportunities for our agents to plug in and do these things. Let's talk about training real quick. eXp University, which I started to touch on, thousands and thousands of training videos. But even better than that, we have 80 plus live trainings every single week. And here's the important thing. Those live trainings are taught by what we call icon agents at eXp. What's an icon agent? Well, these are our highest producing agents in our company. And part of our culture, we get back to the whole agent-centric thing. Part of the culture, and one of the things that really defines this company, is the sharing and the collaboration that goes on. I've really never seen anything like it. And, I think one of the best attributes of the company is everyone here has a peer group. It doesn't matter where you are in your real estate journey. If you're brand new, or we have teams and individuals that do over $1 billion worth of sales every single year. And then we have everything in between. So no matter where you are, if you're brand new, you have a whole bunch of people. If you've been in the business for a while and maybe you're just trying to build a team, you have a group to go to. Or you're an individual and you're trying to get from X, $10 million to $20 million, $20 million to $30 million, $30 million to $50 million. Wherever you are in that journey, there's a whole group of people there for you. What happens, I've seen this all the time. I've been in the business a very long time. I've managed offices. It's always the number one agent in the office that usually does not have that peer group. Everybody's going to them for questions and advice and that kind of thing. Well, here you have a peer group, and it's incredible. So to be able to sit at the table with people that are doing the same volume as you or more, that's willing to share their best practices with you. I mean, how do you put a value on that? It's incredible. So all of that's available through eXp University. We have masterminds every single week too, where you can plug into. Let's talk about the Fast Cap program. What is Fast Cap? So that's a 6-week training program. It's included for that $85 a month. With that program, you're going to get completely plugged into our platform. And you're going to have action items. There's some accountability to it, but it's going to get you off and running. And right now, I think we have over 4,000 agents have gone through the program. It's incredible. We did a beta test back in July, and when we were getting ready to roll the program out, and I think it was 150 to 200 agents in the beta test. They averaged over 4 transactions in those 6 weeks. And that transaction could be defined as they either got a listing, they picked up a buyer, or they actually sold a property, got under contract. 4 within a 6-week program. Think about that. That's incredible. So, I tell people there's really 2 ingredients you need to be successful here. And number one is to think bigger than you've ever thought. The fact that we're one company, that we're borderless. Think about that, because we're not a franchise. Remember I said that you're a borderless company. Think about your reach. Think about your messaging to your database. Think about your branding. What does that look like when you can stretch out across the country and internationally? It's a big deal. So ingredient number one, think bigger than you've ever thought. Challenge yourself. Thought number 2, or thing number 2, is to plug in. If you plug into the people and you plug into the platform, great things can happen. Like I said, there's people there that's going to help you pull up that path that you're trying to go. The path to success has already been made, you guys. All you have to do is get on the one that you're looking for, that meet your goals, and let somebody help you. So those are the 2 ingredients that I always tell people. So getting back to the training, Team Leader Academy, EOS systems that are provided for you. So think about this. What happens when you're a team leader, you're brand new, and you're trying to grow it? Well, we have a whole academy for that. Or what if your team is not, the results aren't what you want? They're not at the level that you want. You don't think you're functioning at like the optimal level that you think you're capable of. We have a whole program for that called Team Leader Academy. Incredible. So all these different things for our training program. If you see support over there, I want to talk about this for a second because it's super important. Getting back to the whole virtual thing. One of the things we hear a lot on the growth side when we're talking to potential agents that are thinking about joining us or teams, brokers. How do I reach my broker? Am I going to be able to speak to them? What does that look like? Every state has broker teams, and the amount of brokers in that state depends on our population in that state. We have some that only have a couple of brokers. We have some that have 8 or 9 brokers. Here's what I can tell you. They have office hours every single day. Broker office hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They have coverage at night, and they have coverage on the weekends. there's different ways to get in touch with them. We have our whole intranet system called Workplace where you can reach them. And we have this whole virtual corporate office that you can go into where they have their office hours. The average wait time is usually under a minute. Think about that. If you're in a traditional brokerage right now and your broker's in charge of one office, maybe two offices, maybe three offices, and you have however many agents in there, well, that broker sometimes has to wear a lot of hats. Sometimes, obviously have to deal with the broker issues. Sometimes they're doing continuing ed. Sometimes they're doing recruiting. Sometimes they're just putting out fires. They have all these different, sometimes they're paying the bills. They're in charge of that. Well, here, our broker team has one job and one job only, and that's to focus on you, the agents, and make sure that all your issues are being taken care of. How cool is that? Think about it again, getting back to traditional. What happens when it's after 5 o'clock and your broker's gone, but you have an issue at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, and you can't wait till the next day? Or what if it's early in the morning and your broker's out teaching a class somewhere and you're not going to be able to get an answer for them for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours? Well, we know in our industry right now, we kind of live in that microwave world where everybody wants an answer right now. So having access to the broker teams at your fingertips is awesome. I can't stress that enough. Also, with the support, we have an expert care desk, which I talked about. That's a 24/7 thing. So you can always, there's always someone to connect with where you get a live person that can help put you in the right direction that you need to go to. I also want to talk about our compliance team. So when we talk about support, just so you know, eXp has over 2,000 staff members. Over 2,000. Unbelievable. So one of those groupings is also called compliance. So every contract that goes in, that you turn in, obviously, we're going to have a compliance team that look at it to make sure everything's proper. All the right forms are there. Every T is crossed. Every I is dotted to make sure that we are in compliance and that there's no problem. So we have somebody that has your back and is making sure everything's good. If something's missing, they'll send you an email and say, hey, listen, just so you know, the seller forgot the initial page 5 of your contract. So they'll give you a heads up, and that's great to know that somebody's got your back and are checking everything for you. Last thing I want to touch on this slide is we have several different divisions. It's not only the real estate brokerage side. We have a luxury division, which has been unbelievable. And now it's over 2,000 agents, I believe. We just started the thing less than 2 years ago, over 2,000 agents nationwide. Incredible. It's actually an international program. Our commercial division, we have over 750 commercial agents nationwide. That alone, if the commercial was its own brokerage, it would be one of the largest commercial brokerages in the country. It's amazing what they've built there. Thumbs up to Sean Murphy. Way to go, Sean. Not to mention that we have our military division as well. So everywhere we have military bases within the country, there's a network there where you can work with people. So all these different opportunities. And that's what I like to tell people when it comes to eXp. I think a couple of words should flash to their mind. Number one is agent-centric. Number two is opportunity. The opportunities you have here are it's not like the normal brokers. And I'm going to get into that here in just a second. So when we talk about it, we're going to talk about our incentive package, which is actually our compensation package, I'd rather call it. I saw incentive, it threw me off. Compensation package. So let's talk about the opportunities, okay? In a traditional brokerage model, you're kind of on a hamster wheel. Everything is based on you selling houses, meaning if you're having a hot streak and you have a lot of commissions come in, it's great. If it's slow, you got to keep working, but your entire income is based on whether you sell a house or not. I get it. I've been doing it for 30 years. But here we have multiple income stream opportunities. That's a big deal. If you notice now, there's a lot of, we'll call them copycat companies who are trying to take this model and trying to become the next eXp. And if you notice, it kind of gets back to the whole discussion about being cloud-based. All the new companies that are popping up are all going cloud-based because they understand it's so hard to have all that overhead. But they're all trying to copy us, and they're having a hard time. But good luck to them. But based off of this, having multiple stream opportunities is a big deal. So let's talk about the first part of it, which is our commission structure. So commission structure, everybody comes over on 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. What does that mean? 80% goes to the agent, 20% goes to eXp, and that 20% is also known as company dollar. So when that company dollar, the 20%, when that equals $16,000, you would then go to 100% commission for the remainder of your anniversary year. That is what's called a cap. So let's say it takes you depending on what your average sales price is. If it took you, and as an example, 5 houses to cap, great. And those 5 houses took you 2 months to sell 5 houses, 3 months, 4 months. That means the remaining 8 months, you would be at 100%. Pretty awesome, guys. There's a couple of questions I ask people, and I'm going to answer them in the next slide. How many houses do you have to sell to get ownership in your current company? How many houses do you have to sell to get back the company dollar that you paid to them? Remember that question. Okay, so we're 80-20, $16,000 cap. While you're in this process of capping, there's an $85 transaction fee. What is that? That's not the $85 fee that gets you our platform. This is a different fee. $85 transaction fee. $25 of it is for that compliance team to review all those contracts that we talked about. The remaining $60 is what we call errors and omissions. Everybody knows what that is, right? So when that $60, we have a cap on that too. So when that hits $750, then you wouldn't be charged that anymore. That would go away until you reset on your anniversary year. So again, 80-20 split. There's an $85 transaction fee, $16K cap. Okay, so far so good. Now, that's one part of the, and here's the fees here, the risk management I was just telling you about. That's one part of the opportunities that you have. But let's just go through this real quick since I talked about it. There's a $149 startup fee. When you join eXp, it's a one-time fee. That also covers your first month of fees, by the way. That covers your first month of the $85 cloud brokerage fee, which you see on the next line. That's the one that gets you all our platform. And then underneath of that, if you add 65 or 25 to 60, you get your $85. That's your transaction fee while you're capping. Okay, showing up there. Now, your risk management fee is paid per transaction. You're not getting charged up front for it. It's a per transaction fee. Again, that $60 caps at $750. So if you've done enough transactions that you hit $750, you won't be charged anymore for the remainder of that year. All right, moving on to the next piece. So we talked about a very aggressive, agent-friendly commission split, commission structure. Now, what are some of these other opportunities and other ways I can earn income at eXp? I'm glad you asked. Here you go. So we have company awarded stocks. What does that mean? We're publicly traded on NASDAQ. Okay. So at our company, as opposed to other companies, what happens when you cap at some of these other companies? Some companies will give you an actual cap. Some people will give you a nice little certificate. That's great. But neither one of them are worth anything. Now, remember, I asked you a couple of minutes ago a question. It was actually 2 questions. Number 1 was, how many houses do you have to sell in order to get ownership in your current brokerage? I'm about to answer that one. The answer is 1. Why? Because, as I said, we have company awarded stocks. Every year that you have your first closing, you get a stock award. You get a $200 stock award. So when you come to eXp, you have your first closing, the company gives you $200 worth of stock. You just became an owner in eXp. Pretty cool. That happens every single year. So let's just use 10 because it's easy math for all of us. But if you were to have a closing for 10 straight years, it's $2,000 worth of stock given to you. That's pretty cool. It's starting to become real money. Every year that you cap, you get an additional $400 stock award. So think about it this way. Every year that you cap, that's $600 worth of stock you're getting. You get your first cap award and another $400. There's $600 worth of stock given to you. If I did that for 10 years, that's $6,000 worth of stock. Starting to add up, guys. Now, you also get a $400 stock award. If I were to bring somebody to eXp, when they do their first transaction, I get a one-time stock award of another $400. So as you see on the screen right there, there's $1,000 worth of stock given to you. Crazy, right? So understanding that's a pretty big deal. All of this gets back to the whole agent-centric thing, which I'm going to beat a dead horse with this, right? Because it's so important that you understand this. When Glenn Sanford came up with this concept, it was really important to him that the agents are taken care of. We have a hard job, you guys. We work really, really hard. And for the most part, until I got to this company, I had never seen a company that actually had an exit strategy for its agents. I never saw a company that actually shared its profits with its agents legitimately. So this is incredible, and it's not even profits; it's just revenue. So there's a big difference between the two. But to know that there's an exit strategy, there's a way for you that the company's rewarding you for hitting certain production benchmarks that can actually give you a way out. That can actually maybe it's an emergency fund, it's a college fund, it's a vacation fund, whatever. To know that a company's just giving that to you for what you were going to do on a daily basis anyway is absolutely amazing. So let's get back to it. We have a very aggressive commission structure. I just told you about the company awarded stocks. There's another company awarded stock, which is called the Icon Award. That's in the third column here on your screen. What is that award? Okay. So we have icons, which I spoke about when we were talking about the training part of it. How do you icon at eXp and what does it mean? Okay. Once you cap, you go to 100%. When you go to 100%, your transaction fee increases to $250 per transaction. Remember, you're getting the entire commission at that point, $250 transaction fee. That $250 also caps. It's a second cap. That caps at $5,000. So for easy math, if you were to cap and then you do 20 additional transactions, because 20 times $250 is $5,000. So let's say in our example that we were using earlier, that it took you 5 transactions in order to cap. If you were to do 25 transactions, a little more than 2 a month, in that example, you would then become an icon award. You become an icon. What does that mean? The $16,000 cap that you paid, you now have the opportunity to get back in the form of company stock. That's the answer to number 2 of that question. Number 1 was, how many houses do you have to sell in order to get ownership? 1. Number 2, how many houses do you currently have to sell at your current brokerage to get back the money that you paid to them? All the other companies out there that I'm aware of, the answer is 0. Ours, I just told you, it's called the Icon Award. So the $16,000 can come back to you in the form of stock. $8,000 comes back to you right away. The other $8,000 is broken up into a couple of pieces. One is we want you to give back, which is we talked about the teaching or sitting on a panel. You would get stocks for that, and then you would get stocks for attending 2 of our events every year, maybe an eXp Con or a regional rally. So for doing that, you would get the $16,000 back in the form of stock. So now think about this. What if I did that 10 times? Elizabeth Riley, I hope you're out there because you're a 10-time winner. A 10-time icon has received $166,600 worth of stock given to them. That is life-changing. That is life-changing. That is exit strategy. That is all that stuff I talked about before. That is all about the agent. I mean, how many people are doing that? It's unbelievable to have that kind of opportunity, again, for doing a production that you were going to do anyway. But to get rewarded like that is mind-blowing. Another thing I want to talk about is the agent equity program, which is that middle column. What is that? Completely optional. You don't have to do it. But every one of our agents has the opportunity to take 5% of every commission that they earn and purchase stock at a 5% discount. What does that mean? You just made 5% of your money. There's no vesting period or anything. You bought it, you own it. You could sell it the next day. If the stock goes up, you want to sell it, sell it. But you made 5% on your money right away. Great deal. Again, you don't have to do it, but it's an option for you. But again, it's because the agent comes first. I mean, one of the things that, well, I'll talk about it in a second. Let's talk about it here. Every Monday, I'm fortunate enough to be in meetings with the leadership group. And I can tell you, when it comes to Glenn Sanford, Leo Preha, our executive team, Amy Weaver, Sean Murphy, everybody, all the senior vice presidents and the vice presidents, everybody in that meeting is a licensed real estate agent. And I don't want to gloss over this because it's super important. Think about this. We're the only company that every decision that is made for an agent is made by an agent. Everybody's a licensed real estate agent. So again, when it gets back to the whole agent-centric thing, to me, this is probably one of the biggest things. I can tell you when we're in these meetings, we have quarterly meetings and everything. When we come up with ideas or possible things to help, the first question is, how does that help the agent? If it's not something that's going to make the agent's life better, help them be more productive, help them make more money, then it's not going to happen. So I love that. And you think about all these corporate-owned companies out there. It's not about the agent; it's about their bottom line. Why? Because they have investors. They have to pay the investors first before anything goes down to the agents. Here, the agents get paid. Unbelievable. It's my favorite part of the company, and it's not often that you get to see behind the curtain. But to be able to see behind the curtain and see how much the founder, CEO, how much they care about the agents, really, I wish everybody could experience it, one of those meetings, because it's really awesome. But this is another way to prove that agent-centric thing and everything I'm trying to say. We call it revenue share. What is revenue share? Okay, remember that $16,000, the company dollar? Here's how it works. 50 cents of every dollar that comes into eXp is split right in half. 50 cents to the agents, 50 cents to us running the company. So that, in this case, $16,000, right, is the cap. $8,000 is company dollar. $8,000 is revenue share. That $8,000 goes right into the revenue share pool, which is divided up among the agents. Last year, over $200 million was paid back to the agents in revenue share. In case you didn't hear me, that's over $200 million went back to the agents in the form of revenue share. Who's doing that? That is the epitome of agent-centric, putting your money where your mouth is. Show me. I just showed you. So it's unbelievable when you think about it. So what does this mean? So we have 7 levels, 7 tiers, if you will, that you can get paid on revenue share. We're not going to get too deep into the woods here. Certainly, if you have questions about revenue share, you see the percentages here. But if you have questions about revenue share to get real deep, then you can schedule an appointment with any one of us on the growth team. We're happy to go through it with you. But just a real quick overview. When we rolled out a new our Rev Share 2.0 last year, your first 3 tiers were completely unlocked, meaning you can realize the full amount of revenue share available to you. If you become a capper, and when you cap, your first 5 levels are completely unlocked. And if you're an icon agent, all 7 levels are completely unlocked for 13 months. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Again, it's all about the agent and making sure they're taken care of and they're rewarded for all their hard work. So again, this is just another view of what that looks like. It looks complicated. It's really not. And the cool thing about revenue share is this. Remember that My eXp app I was talking about? It'll show you how much revenue share you have coming that month. That is cash. It is paid every single month, usually around the 20th of the month. However, we got this really cool thing. It's a quick pay, a pay now button, where let's say you're going on vacation and it's April 1st, as it is today. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. We are live. And let's say it's April 1st, but you're going on vacation tomorrow and you've got $2,000 sitting in your revenue share pool. You can hit the pay now button. It's going to be in your account in about 30 minutes. So you can take it right now and off you go. Again, it's all about the agent. And by the way, when it comes to paying the agents on commissions, we have commissions right now being paid in 14 minutes. If all your ducks are lined up in a row and everything has been done properly, we have people that have gotten paid in 14 minutes. Unbelievable. So again, quick pay. How do we take care of our agents? We know there's nothing more important than 2 things. Agents want their money and agents want support. So we upped our game with our brokers and we upped our game with our quick pay. So there's revenue share. The other thing I wanted to talk about is our involvement in communities and our giving back. So again, the culture here, this is one big happy family, you guys, and we are all about giving back to our communities. Especially with Extended Hand recently, with all the fires out in California and then again in New York, we had agents that were affected and communities that were affected. So again, we all pull together and do what we can to help them out. So it's really important that we give back. We're very aware of the communities out there and making sure that everybody that's within our world is taken care of. So again, it comes back to the culture of the agents being first and making sure that everybody's okay. Big part of who we are. Expert care desk, which I touched on briefly, 24/7. You have access. You're going to get a human being. I mean, that's awesome. And they will be able to direct you whatever it is that you need. And I love this, offered in not only in English, but Spanish and French as well. So again, because we're located in all these different countries, it's a big thing. So guys, that's eXp Inside in a nutshell. There's a QR code there, which you can scan. And feel free to reach out to your growth team at eXp. Should you ever have any questions, there's a bunch of us. We're everywhere, and we're here to help you. I can tell you personally, I made this move here a little over 2.5 years ago. Best decision of my life. I wish I'd have done it sooner, and I hear that all the time out there. But if you're passionate about real estate the way we are, you're passionate about helping people, and you're passionate about building a legacy and something that you can give to your children, then you need to take a good look at us, because we have it all here. So thank you so much for taking your time on a Tuesday night to come spend it with me. I hope it was worth your time. Everybody have a great week, and we will see you next Tuesday again on Insider Live with eXp. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.